Is it the best handling? Absolutely not. Is it the best bar brawling buddy to go get some drinks, maybe get into a fist fight, definitely do some burnouts? Absolutely. They understand the mission here. They got it right. We'd like to interrupt this episode and let you know that our sponsor this week is us. If you want to see anything about cars, head over to TTC Cars and see things like this.
Or for truck and SUVs, head over to the Texas Truck Channel for more stuff like this.
Hey Craig, what does a Hellcat sound like?
A bird? Oh, line?
No, it sounds like this. It sounds like 807 horsepower, 707 torque out of a 6.2 liter supercharged freaking behemoth. This one in particular is the black ghost trim. It's the last call. It's the second from the last call of the last calls. And
what's the 6 of 7?
6 of 7. 707 is a 170, the E85 one that they were doing in Vegas. You have hood pins with it. You've got nostrils with it. And down here, apparently birds like to get eaten right here.
Yeah, Brian, so on track yesterday, about right here, well, a little birdie wasn't quick enough.
Yeah, fair enough. But we took him out and gave him his burial. So that is that. Check out the headlights. They light the road. They also suck in air over here. Look at this one right here. It's got a nice little airport straight for the air intake. That is just cool. And look, we're gonna say this now, we'll probably say it again. No one does cool as good as Dodge does. No one. That's just how it is. They do that best. Is it the best handling? Absolutely not. Is it the best bar brawling buddy to go get some drinks, maybe get into a fist fight, definitely do some burnouts? Absolutely. They understand the mission here. They got it right. Exterior wise, this is a wide body. Look at this fender flare. That is not a SEMA special. This is from the factory and it is meant to be there. The reason why is right here. 305, 3520 Pirelli's on here. Not the best tire in my opinion, the Pirelli, but these things are sticky and wide. They get it done. We've been on track with this thing. It still dances really well. Behind these satin wheels, which are part of the Black Ghost program, have the 6-piston black Brembo brakes. You also see a 2-piece rotor. It's got a separate hat, and that's all about cooling and allowing those brakes to breathe. And this thing is over 4,000 pounds. It needs to breathe. But these work surprisingly well. Credit where it's due. Back to retro. That is the same font that you get on the old Challenger, and that's part of the Black Ghost package. We love that. It looks super cool. On the roof, what do you see? That's gator print vinyl.
Poor alligator.
Poor alligator didn't make it. Turn them into 3 in vinyl form. So that's interesting. That's part of Black Ghost as well. I'm not really into that, but I don't mind it either. So,
but I bet you there's 300 people that will be into it.
Because that's all they're making of this thing. And again, this one costs $99,000. Before destination, it's really a $100,000 car, and that's the cheapest this will probably ever be. It'll be at Meekum in 20 years for about $250. So
get it while you can.
Get it while you can. Fuel door. Looks like it's straight out of 2008 SEMA show. Oh, not capless. What a bummer. But you know what? It's okay. The problem is you're going to use...
That's part of the retro.
You're going to use this a lot. So just maybe take the cap off. 13 city, 21 highway. But actually the Hellcats with the 8-speed ZF, torque flight transmission actually do better on the highway than they're usually rated. So if you're going to be sensible and use cruise control, it can actually do pretty well. I know.
This?
Come down. Out back, 4-piston Brembos. This is what old track pack Mustangs had on the front. That's the back brake on this thing. Independent rear suspension because it's an older Mercedes platform, but that's good. Mercedes makes good platforms. It still works today. Fender flares out here. You also, with the wide body, it's not only the wheel and tire, there's actually different suspension. So you have different shocks and struts, and it's all tuned for that wide body, wider foot track. Anything that's wide body is always going to be cool. Raptors, Hellcats, just the way to do things.
Look at this sticker.
This sticker screams retro. And it lines up great. It
looks great.
You'd be surprised how many vinyl packages from the factory don't do well. This is on really good. So good job, Dodge. Check out the back. This is the last you'll see of this booty because we're going away. It's going to end up being EV in the future. And this one lines up really well. We've seen some of these just on the road that look like they've been in a fender bender or they're just sagging or something. This line is not historically lined up. This one's doing really good. Exhaust tips. You see that? That's where the Freedom burns out. It comes out right here. It bellows, and Dodge has done a really good job on weight reduction. What they've done is not put mufflers on their fast cars, so they're loud as hell. Man, I love that. That's a good thing. That's purely a compliment.
Yeah, on the track you hear whine and then just roar. And it's great.
Whine and freedom, that's all it is. Let's check out the engine. All right, piece de resistance. Don't forget the hood pins. because you know,
let me see that. Do that again.
well, we got one over here too.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Don't worry, there's two.
It's because it's so fast, it might fly up.
Well, it's all the freedom's trying to escape while you're driving. You need to do that. Also, there's still a regular hood pin, so if your friends try to prank you and unhook that while you're at the bar, your hood's not going to fly off.
Nice try.
Ask me how I know. Now,
that's where that little intake comes in.
That's where the intake from the headlight comes in right here.
Headlight.
You got your build plate here, which is cool. Engineered in Auburn, assembled in Ontario, which is just across from Detroit there. So this is actually made in Canada with a German chassis.
Well, they like freedom too.
They like freedom, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and beards. They like beards and freedom.
Yeah.
Massive factory intake. That's part of what helps the 807 horsepower. There's a pushrod motor, so it's still a pretty compact package. Think of like an LS with high revving abilities. That's kind of how these Hemis work. They're not all grunt down low. They actually do rev out. I like that part a lot. I want to show one more thing. Check out this blower belt. Look how freaking massive that is. That is really wide. It's like a 10-tooth sprocket. All that covered. It's time to check out the interior and what's going on there. You're up, Craig.
All right, on to the interior of the Challenger, because there's not a lot to talk about, but we'll do it, make it quick. This is a big old trunk from the 1970s. I don't know if you can tell, it's retro. It's also retro in that look, Brian. You can get in here and be smuggled across a border, or you can be bound and gagged. And
oh, that's not that.
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry.
But this is definitely
transported.
This is definitely a two-body.
Plenty of room.
Yep.
Yeah, two-bodyer at least.
Yep.
So like that, very functional and helpful. So let's move on to the interior. All right, Brian. There's why don't you start in the back there? I want you all to see something back there. This is practical. This makes sense. There's actually a center armrest, so they thought of the rear passenger. There's shoulder belts.
Probably the roomiest muscle car out there.
Basically, this is a practical grocery getter.
Exactly. It's a sensible way
to get groceries. And then basically you get a Challenger interior.
Great.
Let me see that. Which means you get freedom dials, so you can see all the freedom that's roaring out of the.
How much freedom is coming.
So it's basically how much freedom is actually happening at that moment.
And then the right side is freedom results.
Yeah, freedom results. Yeah. So that's what that is. Other than that, boys and girls, you got Alcantara. Everything's black in here. You get the nice Alcantara seats. It's just a Challenger interior. No one cares about that. Let's get it on the road and let's hit it.
Amen. Let's go.
All right, Brian, you ready to launch?
Let's do it. Launch controls active.
807 horsepower freedom. Ponies, whatever.
I'll
do my best to hold it. All right, do it. Oh, whoa.
Oh, that's launch control. Jeez Louise.
Okay. Oh, we're way past 60. Okay.
Allegedly.
Brakes work too. Okay.
The brakes are good.
Well, that was an unprepped surface.
Correct.
We didn't do the launch control right.
We did.
Oh, we did?
We did. It just fought traction the whole time.
Okay, even in launch control mode, it couldn't hold the power back.
No.
0 to 60 in 4.19.
Holy crap. And it weighs over 4,000 pounds.
And now we know it can do better than that.
Right,
no doubt. So don't get us in the comments. We didn't.
Yes,
we know.
Look,
we know.
Not a prep surface, and we can't go to do certain speeds like that. We're not on a drag strip.
Right.
We know it's better than that.
Yeah.
But with two monkeys who have jumped in here with tires that aren't fresh, by the way.
Right.
It's been on a track car all weekend.
Yep.
That was amazing.
Absolutely amazing. So, Brian, there's not a whole lot to talk about with the Challenger as far as like ride and drive goes, but there are a few things, believe it or not, because look, a Challenger is a Challenger, right?
Sure.
But in all seriousness,
hold on. Oh man, the hood strap just flipped up, and I thought it was a bird again.
In all seriousness, though, it is a quote-unquote track-focused wide-body kit with good suspension and brakes and tires. But it doesn't ride bad on the track or on the road. I mean,
look, here's the deal. We've joked for ages, and people in the automotive world have said this forever. Oh, it's as heavy as a Titanic. How's the Titanic doing? Well, get the port open. It's coming in. Look, they have made this thing ride and handle like it has no business doing.
Right.
And that is legitimate praise. They deserve that. Yes. Good job on the engineering team. And the guys behind this are true car guys.
And you can tell.
They wanted to be cool, and then they wanted to be, now with this, competent. When the Hellcat first came out and had a skinny tire, it was kind of laughable. They have really sent this thing to college. It's dialed in. It's ready for work.
You're not going to be able to get a car this big to be this dialed in.
Not going to happen.
They've taken okay, this is what we got. We're going to make it dialed as best we can. Yeah. They've done it. It's kind of like a Porsche with the rear engine. Shouldn't be back there, but they made it work.
That's a great point. And it's been around long enough, they've refined this thing over time.
They've kind of Porsche this. So you probably never heard that one, but there you go. Doesn't mean it's refined, necessarily.
No, well, but I mean, in terms of the ride and drive performance, it is.
Right.
They've made this thing dance like it should.
And it has good bones to play with. It really does.
Yeah, the
old
chassis is
E-Class
solid.
chassis is good. Now, I will say this, Brian. This car, whether it's the V6, just the RT, or one of these bangers,
Yeah.
everybody that gets one of these cars, I don't care who makes fun of the Challenger, everybody that gets a car loves it.
Absolutely. Major passion.
I can see why, and I'm going to give it a backhanded compliment here. This is the most 70s car I've ever been in my life that's been built since the 70s.
Look,
It's got a huge dash. Everything doesn't seem the tightest fitting ergonomic-wise and fit and finish.
well, and it's not new. We've seen this for a while.
It's overly big.
Right.
But who kind of cares? I mean,
crap.
that's kind of the charm of it too, isn't it?
I'll argue that this is the coolest in its class, for sure. And they've done the muscle car better than anyone. It's big and it's heavy. It happens to handle for what it is. And it is a rocket ship, and nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Also, the cal is low, which is nice compared to like Camaros and stuff.
Let me ask you this. Would you rather have the Scat Pack wide body manual or this?
Scat Pack wide body manual.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I think it's the Miata of the Challenger lineup,
If that's the thing.
if that's a thing, because we've driven it on track and it has this same suspension, wheel, and tire, and it grips really well.
Naturally,
it's
it does.
a little lighter, and you've got the manual, you're driving it, you're in charge.
Is anyone ever going to track this car?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
A few, but most of these are going to become the C5 Vet as they're dying off.
Yeah.
People are going to sit in the garage, they're going to polish it and look at it. Oh, in the heydays, this is the second gen Hemi, 426 era all over again. I hate to say it, this kind of car, the Black Ghost, you're not going to see these really getting abused and used.
And we'll end on this. Speaking of Black Ghost, do you know why it's called the Black Ghost?
Oh, do tell, I don't know.
So there's a famous drag racer. I don't have to get the name in front of me, but basically this guy would go around Detroit and race other people with this 426 Hemi.
Oh, back in the day.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
Back in the 70s.
Motown.
And he would beat them,
Okay, why
basically everyone,
Of course.
and then he would disappear into the night.
Okay, so he's more of a legend. No one really knows if he exists.
He might be part of the MCU. I'm not sure, but basically, so
Okay.
anyways, Black
All
Ghost
right.
might be the next character on the MCU.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And
We're gonna miss this one. It's all I'm
gonna
gonna
miss
say.
the last calls.
It's
this
going
is fun.
EV, and we're gonna miss what this represents in our world today. So, on that note, thanks for watching. See you next time.
Freedom.